Who's your candidate? Hi, I'm Satra Zurita, President of the Governing Board of Trustees of the Compton Unified School District. I'm running for the position of Compton City Clerk on April 18, 2017. I'm asking for your vote if you want proven leadership, accountability, and trustworthy leadership in the City Clerk's office. I ask for your vote. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Satra Zurita, thank you again for taking the time to meet with me, give me a chance to interview you. As you know, we're doing a campaign, Who's Your Candidate? And in the Who's Your Candidate campaign, we want to introduce all the candidates to our audience and citizens of Compton. So now we're here at your campaign headquarters. Thanks again for the invitation. For the people who don't know, who is Satra Zurita?
Well, I'm Satra Zurita, and everybody knows that I say it's a great day in Compton. And I was born and raised in Compton, went to Compton schools. I've been in Compton most of my life. Of course, I left for a couple of years as a young adult, but I've maintained my residency here in the city of Compton because this is always going to be home. I work for the city of Compton. I started my career in the city of Compton in 1984. I managed the Compton Ramada Hotel and Convention Center. I was the youngest female African-American hotel manager this side of the Mississippi River.
That's right.
And I've managed the facility at the Martin Luther King Transit Center. I did that, and I've been in City Hall, like I said, since 1984. I've worked in general services, the City Council's office, public works engineering, building and safety, water department, and I'm president of the Compton Unified School District Governing Board of Trustees. And that's a labor of love, something that I decided to do, I guess, 14 years ago, and I hadn't really thought about it, but the teachers union asked me to run.
Okay.
And when they asked me to run, I said, I'll think about it, but I have a problem. And they said, well, what's your problem? I said, my child doesn't go to school here. I don't feel comfortable with the quality of education. And so she's not here, number one. That was one of the reasons. Number two, I didn't want her to get any preferential treatment because of the adults she was related to, nor did I want her to suffer any retribution.
Right.
Because of adults who weren't happy with what might have been going on politically here in the city.
Okay, so Satra Zurita, what does Satra Zurita do for fun? What's fun?
Oh, I have a lot of fun. I like live music, so I love to go see live music, and I'm not talking about concerts, major concerts. I like local bands and local entertainment, blues, jazz, R&B. My daughter, she's 21 years old, and I love to be around her and her friends, watching them. They're all very progressive and ambitious young people. One who's graduated from Cornell, and he's working for a finance company in New York. She's at Loyola Marymount. Her other friends graduated from other colleges, so I like to have them around, and it keeps me young.
Gotcha. Your favorite movie?
Movie, let's see, I don't know what my favorite movie is. I don't watch a lot of movies, and her friends tease her all the time because she hadn't seen most of the movies.
The classic kid.
The classic, not kid, but Baby Boy and all of those movies, In Deep or whatever, In Too Deep, all of that. She had never seen them, and her friends tease her, and they tease me like, why ain't she seen these movies? Well, I'm not a big movie fan. I'll watch them if they're on. I don't watch a lot of TV either. I spend my time, I guess, thinking and strategize.
You have a favorite song?
my favorite song. If I had to say what was my favorite song, I have to come back to that. I didn't know you was going to ask me about favorites. Because I think about that sometimes, you know, that I don't have I guess I like Denzel if I had to pick an actor who I liked. I like Denzel and, of course, Halle Berry. Songs, I like, I don't know, I'll think about it and I'll tell you.
Okay.
Bad Illusion.
That's a new one.
You probably didn't want to hear it.
I didn't expect to hear that, but you all did.
I tell you, I'm around the young folks all the time, you know, and that's how I stay relative.
Okay, good. Now we're going into the city clerk. That's what you're running for.
Yes.
What are the duties of the city clerk?
Well, most people don't realize that the city clerk is the administrator for the city council. So the city clerk is the person who is present at all proceedings of the city council. The city clerk is responsible for maintaining accurate records of all proceedings as well as contracts, resolutions, any documents that are presided over by the city council. Responsible for filling public information requests, overseeing elections, and there's one more, public information requests.
And one that's actually become one of the big things about this race, which is the custodian of the city seal.
Yeah, that's, when I decided to run for city council, I knew that there were some violations, as I saw them, as it related to the city seal. However, I had no idea when I pulled papers for this race that there would be information that came out about expenditures and revenues in that office that had not been accounted for many, many years. Nor did I know that there was a cash box in the office. There are different figures. You hear 200,000, and I'm not making this up. If you watch the council meeting of February 14th, at the very end, where the mayor allows the clerk to give commentary about the merchandise in her office, she says it's $200,000. And then she says that she and the treasurer counted it to the penny. Then the meeting of the February 21st, she comes back after they counted it to the penny.
1 week later.
And says that she made a mistake, that it was either 173 or 176.
Yeah.
And I say, let's not talk about it. You've done enough talking about it. Let's see the revenues and the expenditures for the merchandise that's being sold in the city clerk's office.
Now, the $170-some odd thousand, that wasn't for the clothing. That wasn't for the clothing that they were selling, or the merchandise.
Well, she said it was. She said it was a very lucrative business. And so, all I want to know is where are the revenues and expenditures. And, you know, it's a violation of the city charter for anybody to have cash in their office. All of the cash should be collected in the city treasurer's office.
So you're saying that there was $170-some odd thousand in cash?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
She said that, and I don't know, but she said that there was an account and that she and the city treasurer counted the money to the penny, and it was $200,000. I certainly don't believe she had $200,000 in a box in her office, but I have heard that there was anywhere from $800 to $3,000 in petty cash in the office, and it was replenished after it got to a certain number. And of course, this is all hearsay. And the numbers, it doesn't make any sense for us to talk about the numbers. Show me the record.
So have you received the record? Have you guys?
I haven't heard anything about any records, but I guess maybe I'll do a public information request and see if I can get a copy of the revenues and expenditures. But you can get last year's budget, and there was no line item for merchandise in the city clerk's office. I've been asking for years.
Is there a difference between the city seal and the city logo?
I don't know what the city logo is, but I know what the city seal is. And the city seal has been the city seal since 1888. And whether you do a 21st century trademark on it or not is one thing, but it's been the city seal for over 100 years. And there's something that you call a common law trademark. Well, I think the first time I ran, she had recently been appointed as a result of the clerk being retiring. And I had said for many years prior to that I was going to run for that seat whenever it became vacant. However, the city council appointed her. So when the opportunity came up, I ran.
Okay. And then the second time you ran, what makes you think that this time around would go any different than the first few times?
Well, there are many more eyes on the election. My name is a name that is in the community. I've been here. Everything is about timing. I ran for city council. I didn't win, but Jana ran and she won. It's about timing, and I believe the time is right. I believe that the circumstances here, people are much more educated. People see the great work that I've done at the Compton Unified School District. We've turned the district around. Graduation rates are above 80%. Dropout rates are below 500%.
And what were the graduation rates prior to?
Less than 50%.
So less than 50% to over, or roughly about 80%.
It's 80% published right now based on a cohort. And the cohort is 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade across the district. So based on the 3-year cohort, it's 80%. This year, it'll be much more than that based on this year alone. So we've made some great strides. Dropout rate is much lower. I attribute that to providing opportunities that kids enjoy, that make them want to come to school. And we provide breakfast, lunch, a snack, and supper. And many kids in this community don't have anything to eat at home. So they're looking forward to coming to school, if for nothing else, but to eat.
Yeah.
Right. And if we bring engaging programs for them, that makes it that much more exciting about school for them. And you know, we train our teachers. Our teachers are trained to find out, to evaluate our kids. We recently did this to make sure that our kids are okay if something is normal or requires help. And so they're observing our students to find out if things are normal or if they're abnormal and they need help. So we're doing referrals. We have a lot of wraparound services. We want our kids, when they leave here, we want them to be educated. We want them to be culturally sophisticated, academically, athletically, and socially. When they leave here, I want them to be able, when they go to college and their roommate is rich and they get invited to dinner at the roommate's house, they know which fork to pick up when they sit down. So for me, it's a social issue, making sure that my people are in a position that they can go anywhere in the world and they can fit in.
Now, what makes Satra Zurita qualified candidate to be city clerk?
Well, city clerk is an administrator job.
Okay.
And I've been an administrator all of my career. I managed a hotel where I was the administrator of the whole hotel and the convention center. I've been a senior administrative analyst in the city of Compton since 1999. I currently am the president of Compton Unified School District. I oversee policy, $300 million budget. I'm ready. I'm ready to take on and turn around, help to turn around, to work for the team that sets policy and help them turn around the city of Compton like we did with the Compton Unified School District. We got money missing everywhere. It's a lot of money missing everywhere.
It's a lot of them.
And it's unfortunate that some folks in the community, they can't see past whatever personal issues they have to see what's really going on. Because none of this is personal.
And I was going to ask you about it being personal, that now that this is your third time running for this seat against the same person, it has a personal feel to it.
Well, not for me.
Okay.
It's all business. It's about my tax dollars. It's about making sure that policies and procedures are followed. Because it's one thing to say, oh, I know about the city charter. Oh, I know about municipal code. I know about this. I know about that. And it's a whole other thing when you start violating those codes in the charter for your own gain.
What's the differences between Satra Zurita and Alita Godwin?
Well, she'll tell you that she's been in that office for 30 years. And I say that's part of the problem. It still runs like it did 30 years ago. She has one full-time staff person and 2 part-time staff people. A contractor that transcribes minutes. 4 years ago, she had 2 part-time staff members, a contractor that transcribes minutes. Oh, I forgot about the contractor that helps her with the elections, in addition to the firm that actually handles or prints the ballots and helps with the count and whatever else they do that didn't go out to bid. So,
how prepared are you to step in as a city clerk?
I'm ready. I'm not certified. That's the other difference. She'll say she's certified. Well, I'm not a municipal clerk, but I can guarantee you at the first opportunity, I'll be a certified clerk.
And when is the first opportunity?
When I get in the office, I'll do the research. I'm sure they have ongoing professional development courses for city clerks, and I will make it my business. That'll be one of the first things that I do, become a municipal clerk. She says something about she's put in her application to be a master's of clerk. Well, there's a master's of governance for school board members. So these are just like weekend courses, 1-week seminar. Masters of Governance with the school district is a series of courses, but you can take them in 5 weeks. So this is nothing that is complicated. It's nothing that I can't do. And I guarantee that at the first opportunity, I will be a certified clerk.
Have you had a chance to take any city clerk conference seminars?
No, not yet. Like I say, that's something industry. When you get into an industry, then you do that. It's not necessary. You're an administrator. The duties are clearly defined. You know, if you're familiar with the election code, if you're familiar with the Public Records Act, the Municipal Code, the Charter, Brown Act, Robert's Rules of Order, I chair a meeting twice a month, you know, and I run the meeting. So there's no clerk sitting next to me at the school board telling me how to run the meeting. I run the meeting. I'm ready.
I haven't had a chance to go to a school board meeting yet. The city council meetings are not as professional. Is the school board meetings any different?
Oh no, we don't have all of that craziness. We're educators. Now we get along well on the dais. We sometimes have a little fun. Sometimes we're there. Last night I think we were there till 11:30. So if you're somewhere with somebody for several hours, either you're mad or you're gonna have fun. So, you know, we take care of business. We could rush and get through, but we feel it's important for us to preside and give people the opportunity to see how we take care of business and how we interact with each other. We don't have a bunch of people come down every week, though I had someone come threaten me last night about the election and speaking about what's going on in the clerk's office.
They have a threat.
A threat, yeah, they'll be back. I said, you're welcome back here anytime.
How did that threat go? What did they say?
They came to the mic. It was Barbara Calhoun, who has been harassing me since 2010. I have a letter, I think I gave you a copy of it, or I will give you a copy of it, where I had to write a letter to the city manager requesting that they ask her not to harass me administratively. Not only that, last week I walked into my office and she was in with an employee. I walked up on him asking where I was and when did I work and what department did I work in. So this lady has had an obsession with me for many, many years.
You guys have definitely had your battles in them.
I mean, and all I am is a native daughter of this community who wants to make things better. All of this, these personal attacks, they've attacked my mother, they've attacked my sister, and my mother's done nothing but great things in this community. She directed Meals on Wheels for 43 years, where she's fed everybody's mom and daddy, grandmom and daddy, uncle, aunt, whether they paid or not. When she retired, she still made $29,000. And I said, Mama, how could you have worked all these years and you still only make $29,000? She said, well, when I get a call from an 80-year-old man who just got out of the hospital that had cancer, I can't put him on a waiting list and say, you know, we can't serve you. So I'll get into heaven for the things that I've done. And money, it wasn't about money. It was about servicing the people in this community. So I really don't understand, but there's only a few folks that we call haters. And it's okay.
Do you believe that it may be a conflict of interest, say you get on to a city clerk and your sister is in District 1?
Absolutely not. My sister is a policymaker. I'll be an administrator. So I don't have a vote. My job is to make the city council look good in all of their proceedings and all of their business. Many times I go looking for a document and it's nowhere around. It's not in the city attorney's office, it's not in the city clerk's office. And it's critical that everything is maintained according to what the charter says. And if the charter says that the clerk's job is to maintain accurate records, then that's the job that I'm going to do. If the charter says that I'm the administrator for the city council, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be at all presidings, all proceedings of the city council and set it up to make them look like stars. I'm going to be their backup, and I do a great job as backup.
This race is definitely one of the most interesting races between you and Ms. Godwin. Even down to the color. I've had people tell me, say, hey man, I don't know if Alita wore pink or if Jana's going to wear pink. You've been around a long
time. You know who wore pink.
Well, where does that even come from? Because, I mean, it's a topic now. People
I
talking about
consider
the
it
colors.
a brand.
Okay.
And so my mother ran for city council in 1995. Her colors were pink, fuchsia, and black. When I ran for city clerk 13 years ago, my colors were fuchsia and black. When Jana runs for city council, her colors are fuchsia and black. I consider it a brand. And so every once in a while, a consultant comes around, a campaign consultant, and they want to change the logo or the colors. And I say, no, this is our brand. And so, you know, the brand is our brand. It's us. It's our trademark. Everybody knows this is our color. And I think, you know, it's nice that she likes my color. You know, her signs are either red, white, blue, or yellow and gold. But someone said to me, you're right, it has become a topic of conversation. And someone said to me, oh, well, maybe she's wearing it because it's Women's History Month. And in City Hall, they have a little display and it says, wear your pink. So I don't know, but I like the pink. It's my brand, and I welcome her to wear pink. But I caution her that people may mix her up with my brand, so.
Sounds good. Is there anything else that you want to tell the citizens of Compton about Satra Zurita?
Yes, well, I already said that I was born and raised in the city of Compton. Often the other candidate says, you know me, you know what I'm about. I'm transparent. I went to school here. I sit as president of the school board, which has been turned around, $300 million budget. I work on a daily basis in this community to try to make it the best community it can be. It's important that I believe the clerk is someone who not only just does their job, but understands the global issues that are happening in the world. And with the Trump White House, it's critical, and I've said it on more than one occasion, voter education is important. Not to encourage someone to vote one way or the other, but to encourage them that it's voter day.
Right.
You need to get out. Voter day is coming. It shouldn't be signs that alert people that an election is coming. And it shouldn't be signs that alert people that it's time to go vote. I mean, sometimes people see the signs and I see them in the store after the election and they say, oh yeah, I'm going to vote for you. Well, the election was last week. So I really think it's critical that we work to improve the rate of voters in this community. And I know this is going to be a low turnout election, and the reason it is we just had an election last week. And some people are confused. If there was a massive education effort as it relates to voters and voting and the importance of voting in this community, then people wouldn't have to rely on signs, and maybe people wouldn't spend so much money on signs. And it's funny because people who may not have run before, or people in the community that really don't understand the dynamics of campaigning, wonder, where are your signs? Where are your signs? Well, signs don't vote, and signs can be deceiving, because just because my neighbor has somebody else's sign in their yard doesn't mean anything. I have a relationship with them, and I know they're going to vote for me. So, you know, the sign business is deceiving. I think we should do much more voter education. And I'm ready. I'll be a certified clerk when you want me to be. Just because you've been somewhere for 30 years don't mean you've been doing it right. And there's often a problem with moving into the 21st century. Where is the technology? 4 years ago I said I'd fully automate the office. It's not been fully automated.
The clerk's office?
Oh yeah, you can get some information. If I ask for election information, what I'm going to get is the final number, the final count. Well, as a person who's running an election, I'm looking for poll information. I'm looking for specific polling places, precincts. What did I do in this precinct? Where did I do here? You know, so giving me a total, that's nothing. And telling me to go to the website and I can get the information, which I attempted to do. I said, okay, I'll go to the website and look for the information. And it certainly was not there. I had to make another visit and ask for that information. So, I mean, and it's not rocket science. You go to the Registered Recorder's website and see how they have information. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm just going to make the wheel better. So I'm honored to serve this community in the capacity that I do, and I'm looking forward to serving as the city clerk and making that office more user-friendly. I think you should be able to sign up online to speak at council meetings. Why you have to rush down here 15 minutes before the meeting starts? You may not be able to find a parking place. I said this 4 years ago. That was one of the easiest things that could have transpired over the past 4 years. So again, I say it's not personal. It is not personal. This is all about business. It's about being progressive, moving things into the 21st century, being responsive to citizens, and obeying the laws. I am not going to violate the city charter, period.